and He with me.
It's time to share, there's a world out there, looking for a friend like Jesus. It's time to share, there's a world out there, let's tell Him that He loves us so. Let's tell Him that He loves us so. Kids time, kids time, kids time, kids time.
Hi, boys and girls. Did you see what I just did? I put an offering in this offering plate. It might look like one you have at your church. Was that a good thing to do? Well, yes, it is. When we give offerings to Jesus, it goes to help spread the good news about Jesus, and we want to do that, don't we? But if we give offerings just because we think it's the right thing to do, or if we give our offerings without a thankful and generous heart, it doesn't please God. Now, today's Bible story tells about a man who did have a thankful and generous heart. Now, he didn't give an offering. That is, he didn't put any money in an offering plate, but he did give Jesus something much more important. And do you know what that is? It's kindness. Now, I know that today Jesus is pleased when our love for Him makes us kind and generous to others. Remember that your offerings are important, but what Jesus really wants, most of all, is your kind and loving heart. Well, right now, Ranger Jim is going to show you an animal you might not have seen before. I know I had never seen it before. It is called a tapir.
Hi, boys and girls. Ranger Jim saying welcome to Nature Time. We're at beautiful Lion Country Safari near West Palm Beach, Florida, and look what we have for you to see today. My friend Sherry is with me. Sherry, what are these?
These are Brazilian tapirs, these animals in the background. We actually have quite a few animals here. We have a rhea and these are llamas, but the two that we're most interested in today are Amy and Toby, our Brazilian tapirs.
Well, give us some information about them. What do they eat, or what do they...
Tapirs are basically vegetarian animals. They eat a lot of leaves, grasses, twigs. If you can see their noses, they're almost have the actual nose itself looks kind of like a pig nose, and they have almost a trunk like an elephant, but not quite as long. But they're most closely related to horses.
Are their nose prehensile? Can they grab things?
They can't really. It's not really prehensile, but they are able to move it around. They also spend a lot of time in the water, so they can stick their nose up out of the water a little bit.
Now, I was just going to say they look like an aquatic animal to me. Do they have thick skin, or is their skin quite thin?
I would say they have fairly thick skin.
So they spend most of their. Do they eat in the water? Do they feed on aquatic plants?
Occasionally they feed on aquatic plants, but they also feed on land. So.
All right. Then my next question is always for boys and girls: how many babies do they have?
They have one baby, and their gestation. They're pregnant for a little bit over a year. They have one baby, and the babies look very much different than the adults because the babies are always spotted. They're almost striped. It looks almost like a watermelon. A lot of people call them little watermelon babies because they're brown and they have these white stripes and spots on them.
And then that serves as camouflage when they're very young?
Correct.
We have if you're familiar with the white-tailed deer, if you live in North America, when they're born, or the mule deer for that matter, they're born with stripes on them and spots, and that helps in to camouflage them when they're very young. How long do the babies stay with the mother?
The babies stay with the mother. They nurse for approximately a year, possibly a little bit longer, and then they might stay in a family group for a while.
Stay in that. Well, what about in many family groups like this, the males separate from the female? Do they stay together as male and female, and the group all stay together, or do the males usually...
They'll stay together for a while. As the males get older, they will tend to wander off. When you see them together, usually you see a mother and her offspring. Occasionally you'll see the male that will stay with the group, but it's more common. At one time they were thought to be very solitary animals, but they're changing their minds on that right now. The more they've studied them, they found that they do tend to spend a bit more time with each other.
Well, that's good. Then when you see 5 or 6 of them, you might have a mother and a daughter, and then daughters that have in the past that have been
Correct.
Older ones that maybe even have their own babies.
Right.
I thought. Well, they are native to where?
They're South American. They're actually from Brazil.
And so then I always ask this question: how long do they live?
They live about 30 years in captivity.
About 30 years they would live in captivity, and then out in nature, most likely they wouldn't live that long. Do they have natural enemies? What are the natural enemies that they would have?
Just about as many of the large predators would be their natural enemy, but they are a fairly large animal, so it would take a large predator.
So it would take a large animal like a lion or a cheetah or something.
Correct.
Like
well, there's not lions in South America, but some of the larger South American cats.
I see. They would have those there. So they like a warm climate.
Correct.
They like a warm climate like we have here in Florida, that they thrive here like that.
Right.
And they wouldn't like the cold. Are they prone to disease? You have any difficulties, things of that nature here? Or?
Not any more than, we actually have very little problems with them. We here at Lion Country, we have a wonderful veterinary staff, and we watch our animals every day, and they're on a lot of preventative medicines, not actually medications or anything, but we have a good preventative medicine program. So
and then when you're feeding them here, what do you feed them? Just the food that they would normally eat, or? They
have access to eating a lot of, they have a large pond over here, and they can get any of the aquatic plants out of that they want. They can graze on the grass when some leaves. There's not a lot of trees in this area that they can eat, but we also feed them twice a day, and they are most closely related to a horse. So we give them horse pellets, and they also get quite a bit of fruits and vegetables and a lot of greens. They love lettuce, romaine lettuce, kale, spinach.
Right.
Their favorite, again, is bananas. It seems that a lot of animals' favorite is bananas.
That's right, including human beings,
yes.
right? And some of the things you're mentioning that Ranger Jim loves when you get into the lettuces and the kale and the greens and the fruits and the things like that. So, boys and girls, it's been very interesting to learn about this creature. And Ranger Jim is always telling you, don't forget to tell Jesus that you love him, because he really does love you.
Hi, boys and girls. When we look at young people, like yourselves or the kids here, we not only see great people right now, but we see what Jesus is going to do for you down the road, and what wonderful things that you'll do for him. Nothing compares with the promise that you have in Jesus Christ.
My Jesus, my Savior, Lord, there is none like you. All of my days, I want to praise the wonders of your mighty love. My comfort, my shelter, tower of refuge and strength. Let every breath, all that I am, never cease to worship you. Shout to the Lord, all the earth, let us sing. Power and majesty, praise to the King. Mountains bow down and the seas will roar at the sound of your name. I sing for joy at the work of your hands. Forever I'll love you, forever I'll stand. Nothing compares to the promise I have in you. Shout to the Lord, all the earth, let us sing. Power and majesty, praise to the King. Mountains bow down and the seas will roar at the sound of your name. I sing for joy at the works of your hands. Forever I'll love you, forever I'll stand. Nothing compares to the promise I have in. Nothing compares to the promise I have in. Nothing compares to the promise I have in you.
Hi, do you like to try foods from different countries? Well, I do. When my family went to a Mediterranean restaurant,
we tried this recipe that I really liked. So I went home and made a recipe so that I could make it for you. And I called it hummus pocket sandwiches. Let's put the ingredients on the screen for you now. 3 16-ounce cans of garbanzo beans, 2 teaspoons of garlic, minced, 3 tablespoons of lemon juice, 3/4 a cup of roasted tahini, 1/4 a cup of olive oil, 1 teaspoon salt, 1 cup walnuts chopped, black olives, and paprika. Now to save some time, I've already blended up our ingredients and made the spread, and I used all the ingredients except for the olives and the paprika. Now I have lettuce here because I love lettuce, but if you don't like lettuce, you don't have to use it. But I love romaine lettuce, that's why I did that. And you could also use, any vegetable you want. You could use tomato slices, you could use cucumber slices. That sounds good, I wonder why I didn't do that. Well, anyways, I'm gonna go over here with the hummus. I have pita pockets here, and I'm gonna put, go ahead, I'm gonna start with the lettuce. And you don't have to do that. Fold it over a little bit and put it inside to where the end sticks out so it looks nice. I'm going to take some of the hummus spread and put it, spread it inside on the lettuce. This. And then I like to put some paprika. And this paprika, I was just in Hungary visiting my relatives, and I got this. Hungary is known for their paprika. So I got this put in here. And I'm going to just sprinkle a little bit over the hummus inside, just for flavor, for taste. And I'm going to put some olives in here. If you don't like olives either, you don't have to use those either. Those are just, I love olives. I'm going to put lots of olives. That's all there is to the sandwich. It's delicious. I love it. Well, until next time, keep cooking and eat healthy.
Have you ever met a judge? I'm a judge of sorts. Well, I have been most of my life anyway, until this man Jesus came along. Let me tell you this story. I was a member for many years of the Sanhedrin. That's a fancy name that someone came up with to describe our council. There were 71 of us in all, elders, and we'd sit together and we'd declare judgment on difficult cases. Some very important, some not so important. But justice was always our goal. Justice! Well, at least in the early days, before Jesus came. Jesus came and started preaching in the area, and many people started to follow him. Some of the religious leaders were concerned about this, and they went out to hear him. He had a very unusual message. He didn't say the same kinds of things that most of the priests in the area were speaking about. He spoke of love and forgiveness. He didn't talk so much about the law and the rules. Well, many people started to follow him, and this made some people angry. Many people liked him. Other people hated him, especially some of the religious leaders. They seemed to get so jealous of him. Not all of them, of course. Some of us on the council were impressed with his teaching. Nicodemus and I, for example, we'd gone to hear him a couple of times, and we liked what he had to say, his message of love. Most of the people on the council were opposed to him. Well, Nicodemus and I had a plan. We thought, if anything comes before the council, because we supported Jesus, we could protect him with our own authority in the council. Well, it didn't work out that way. You probably know how they made charges against him as if he was a criminal, how they convinced the governor to have a trial for him, how he was convicted, how they spit on him, how they beat him, how they whipped him. I'm sure you know the story of how they hung him on the cross to die. That wasn't part of our plan, but we were powerless to intercede. I saw all that happen. I saw the suffering. I saw the death. And I was overcome with such a sense of injustice. Everything that I'd ever stood for, to protect people, to work for what was fair and what was for just and what was right. Well, this wasn't fair or just or right. I talked to Nicodemus about it. We were concerned about what they were going to do with the body of Jesus. You see, they would take common criminals, and even after they were dead, they would make examples of them in the way they treated the body. We didn't want that to happen to Jesus. We wanted to give him an honorable burial. So we made a little plan, a bold plan. Nicodemus got some things together, and I went to see the governor. And I told him that I wanted Jesus' body. He looked at me like I was odd. I don't think he believed me at first, that Jesus was even dead. He called in for one of his guards, and the guard told him that Jesus was in fact dead. And when he was absolutely convinced, he told me I could have the body. But he put his guards in charge of making sure that there was no funny business. Well, Nicodemus got together some spices, and we gave Jesus an honorable burial. This raised a lot of eyebrows in the community. You see, I was a judge. I was one of the major officials. And I gave my tomb that I owned to a criminal, or someone they viewed as a criminal. Many people thought that was wrong. We still don't know what's going to happen to us, Nicodemus and I. They may kick us off the Sanhedrin. They may let us continue. I don't know. I only know that my opinions about being fair and being a judge are different than they were before this happened. Maybe I'm just realizing how sinful and weak we all are as humans. And we can't be perfect judges. But I know that one day, there will be a perfect judgment. Because God will show us all his true judgment, which is without error. Wish I could be a judge like that. But you know, I have a more important job than being a judge now, because that tomb that I gave to Jesus, it doesn't have a body in it anymore, because Jesus rose from the dead. He's not there as a dead man anymore. He has arisen. Many people saw it already. Many people have talked to him. And he's gone back to heaven to prepare a place for us. And my job now is not to be a judge, but a witness, and to let people know that he's coming back, and that we can have salvation through him. And one day God will judge us all with his great judgment, and that will be truly fair.
Lovell sisters for that beautiful song, Coming Again. And Jesus is coming again, boys and girls. Well, I have a letter I'd like to read you from South Africa, and it says, Dear Miss Brenda, I love to watch Kids Time, and what I enjoy most is Ranger Jim. It says, my name is Waldo, and in June I will be 9, and my brother is almost 12, and I have a sister almost 5. It says, I do homeschooling as well as my brother, and I would like a Kids Time activity book, please. I share Jesus by helping my mother, and I also visit old, lonely people. Thank you very much for Kids Time. I learned quite a lot. Love, Waldo. Well, thank you, Waldo. And look at Waldo drew a picture right here. And maybe that's a picture of Waldo and the green grass and a tree up here. Thank you very much, Waldo, for that pretty picture. And also for your letter. I have some more letters to read, but first I want you to meet Jordan. Hi, Jordan.
Hi.
I thank you for coming to Kids Time. And I want you to tell the boys and girls, what do you do to share Jesus?
Well, my cousin Warren moved to Guyana to be a missionary, and I can...
Wait a minute, your cousin moved to Guyana?
Hmm?
And what's your cousin's name?
Warren.
Warren. So what did he do?
He went to be a missionary.
In Guyana?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so what did you decide to do?
I decided to give them some money.
Well, how did you do that?
Well, with my Sabbath school class.
You went and talked to your Sabbath school class? What did they do?
They helped me
How did they do that?
we had this man, he built a tractor for them, and they had to pay for it, so we helped them.
So you helped them pay for a tractor?
Mm-hmm.
Because they needed a tractor over there?
Yeah.
And what did you do to help them? How did you earn money?
Well, our Sabbath school class, we have this jar, and our Sabbath school class put money in the jar.
And so you put money in the jar, and you kept saving in your money. Now, where did you get your money from?
From my allowance.
From your allowance. Now, do you get a lot of money for allowance?
Mm-hmm.
How much money do you get a week?
$1.
$1 a week? That's a lot of money. Now, how much money have you been able to save?
Let's see, $17.
$17. You've been saving for 17 weeks. That's a long time. Now, have you ever been in a store and you're tempted to say, oh, I wish I wouldn't have given all that money because then I could buy this nice toy?
No, I don't want to say that.
You never thought that?
Mm-mm.
No? Well, how come?
Because I feel good that I give my money to them.
Oh, because when you give your money to them, who are you really giving your money for?
Jesus.
That's right, and I can tell you love Jesus. Do we have a picture of that tractor so we can see it again here? Let's see, here's the picture of the tractor, and look at that. Isn't that a nice tractor? Well, you know what, Jordan? I'm really proud of you that you love Jesus and enough to really give him your heart and give him your offerings, because that's what you're doing, aren't you? You're saving your money and you're giving that to Jesus. Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us. Because boys and girls, maybe you have an allowance. Maybe you can do something with your allowance to help spread the word of Jesus, okay? Well, I have a picture here. Can you hold this up for me, Jordan, please? All right, and this is a letter from Woodland, Washington. It says, Dear Miss Brenda, I would like to receive your activity book, and I also want to join Kids Club. Said, thank you very much. I'm 7 years old, Michelle. Well, thank you, Michelle. Isn't that a cute picture of Michelle? And we'll definitely get you signed up for Kids Club. And let's see, we have a letter here from Maryville, California. Let's see, who is this? And this is Acacia. And Acacia writes, Dear Miss Brenda, my name is Acacia, and I would really like and love to come on Kids Time and sing. Well, I guess you really want to come. Said, I would like to sing on Kids Time very much, and I would like to I would like you to send me a Kids Time activity book. And it says, I really love Jesus, your friend Acacia. Well, thank you for your letter, and I guess you really want to come, so you know what? Send Miss Brenda a video of you singing, and send it here to 3ABN, and then I can get it. And I look at all the videos. I watch every one, okay? So if you want to come and sing on Kids Time, just need to send me a video of you singing, all right? Now, this one is from Plainfield, Massachusetts. And Miss Brenda used to live in Massachusetts. It says, Dear Miss Brenda, hi, my name is Joshua and I'm 10 and I will be 11 in May. It said, how I share Jesus is by helping my grandma, who is 79 years old, and I help her out of the car sometimes because she has some trouble. I love Kids Time, and my family does too. I love Jesus, and so does my family. P.S. Please send me a Kids Time activity book, and I want to join Kids Club. Well, thank you, Joshua, for your letter, and I think it's a very good thing to help your grandma. That does make Jesus proud, doesn't it? And I'll get you signed up for Kids Time and get the activity book out to you. All right, this is from Jenna, and let's see, I've got a picture here, Jenna. She emailed me a picture. You want to hold that up for me? And this says, Dear Miss Brenda, my name is Jenna, and I'm 5 years old. I like watching your program, and I love all the Bible stories. I share Jesus by making cards for people who are sick. And when my mommy is sick, I'll always help her, too. I would like a Kids Time activity book. This is the picture of me. Thank you, Jenna. Well, thank you, Jenna, for that wonderful email. And I think I might have time for one more. It says, Dear Miss Brenda, we love your show, but we don't always get to see it because in Australia it comes on quite late. We are currently trying to share Jesus by getting together things for a family in our district who had a tragic accident, and their oldest daughter was seriously injured, and also the other two children. Could we have some Kids Time activity books to give them? Their children's ages are 9 and 5. Thank you. Love, the Johnson kids, Kathleen, Jemima, Kyle, and Talitha. Well, I would be happy to do that. Thank you so much for all your letters. Boys and girls, remember, wherever you are, wherever you go, it's Kids Time to share Jesus.